wanted to do a little showing of my cube and how I set it up and run it. We looked on YouTube and there wasn't too much on there as far as people giving, you know, pretty good descriptions of what to do. So basically my setup is just this. I use a concrete mixing bin from Home Depot, a large one, in one of these little, I think it's Rubbermaid or whatever, little clear bins here to run my material in. I don't have to use 5-gallon buckets or any of that. The cube's actually wider than the bucket, so it just kind of makes a mess and drops material in there. This works out pretty good in my little homemade stand here. So what I do is I start my pump. Everything's dry in this unit right now. Start my pump, make sure I get a good water flow through it. Once you got water coming out the other end, you're good. To use rinse aid and a little brush. What I do is take my pump off, take the top, which I think I showed once before. This is a real good idea on a cube. This little black matting here, just a little square across it. Mine's not very straight, so whoever put it in there, I bought mine used, did not put it in straight. But that's a good idea, and it really helps show you what you're kind of getting. And we do have a little bit of pay dirt we're going to run here today. I got about 3/4 of a 5-gallon bucket and a little bit of our top matting material. And what I simply do is just start with the lowest tray. Give a pretty good amount of rinse aid there. And then get your brush wet. Nice light ripples all the way across. Get it in your corners. One direction when you do final. You go up and down to get your, excuse me, get your suds where you want them, back and forth. Then at your final, back and forth, just one good, get in all the cracks, make sure everything's done. And I've noticed when I do it like this, when I look back in there after I start it back up, I won't have 0 air bubbles in there. And as you can see, even from just running for the moment, there's dry spots on my top here. So you got to really get that in there. We'll do our second one here. And like I said, I use a pretty good amount of rinse aid because it also gets in here. I want to see suds coming up in my bin there. Don't be shy with the rinse aid. That'd probably last me a couple of months, but I use my water several times. It does get murky, but after it sits here, it kind of all settles to the bottom again. See, we're pretty good. And that looks good to me. Everything back on and you're good to start her up and run at this point. I generally let it run for a few seconds, and since it does have this, you can see it's airing right there. Just kind of run your finger across it. Get rid of that air bubble off of it. Let them suds start building up on the bottom here. And pretty much now that it's circulating with the rinse aid in it, I feel confident that it catches my gold. So I'm going to go ahead and start feeding it a little bit here. I generally scoop mine in sideways with my little plastic scoop, so it kind of breaks the material up as it goes in. This stuff sat here since yesterday, so it's a little drier than the stuff I would most time run. But this is generally the speed that I would about run this. I'm going to actually add a little water to this so that the consistency
that I would generally be running it at, because it has sat here overnight. There we go. And I run my cube fairly fast. The reasoning that I do it this way, sideways, if you go in like this from the front, you kind of get it's a bulky pile, you're just kind of randomly like dumping on there. And I don't like that, because it's got more chunks. See that chunk there? These little chunky pieces, you gotta let them work down. If I come in off the top, just like so, I gotta get up all the little chunky pieces I broke up. But if you just scrape the top edge of this like so, it works so much better. Even if you're using a 5-gallon bucket, start on one corner and work in. But don't just be shoveling straight into this thing, because you don't, and I still get chunks obviously, but it just helps to break that material up. Nice little bigger scoop for the guy that wants to get on the move. Back and forth pretty consistently across it. This is our long mat, so I don't expect a whole lot in it. It looks like there's a flake or two that's already been caught. And what I'm going to go ahead and do is we're going to hit pause on this. I'm going to come back through when I'm at the end of this bottom bin here, and I will show you guys what's in the visual and how murky the water will get, because it will get murky. And then I'll run this one, my top mat, on video and kind of show you what it actually gets. And like I said, I've always felt real confident in my cube catching whatever amount of material I put in it. I've run about 8, maybe 10 buckets through it of concentrate one day, and I felt confident that it caught everything. And no matter how much material you run, whether it's a half a bucket or, like I said, 8 to 10 5-gallon buckets, this cube's only going to catch so much material. The only thing that it'll catch a little bit more of is in the pockets where it has its cube tray, or its nugget trays. You will find a little bit more in there as long as you got nuggets. We're going to hit pause and I'm going to get back to you guys. So we're down to the end of the second one here. The first one's done. All I do is shishel my sand down here a little bit. You guys probably won't be using a square pan, so you probably won't have to really do it as much as I do here. There we go. We got a little shifter around. Turn it around here so. And at this point, with both of these, my little tray down below is pretty much full. So I'll show you what I do. Pull it out and dump it. Literally. Kind of dump the water off a little bit without getting your material dumping out. That's my 2 green bins full, about half, maybe a little bit more than that of the concentrate. And all I do is I got another bucket here with some holes in the bottom of it. I dump it in, shake her out, and then what I do with this eventually is when since my 5-gallon bucket's empty, next time I go back, that'll be nice and dry. I'll just shovel it into my bucket and take it back to a claim, whichever one I'm at, and dump it somewhere. Fill some holes in the road or something. So, but then we're gonna run my very top matting here. Put this back in under my cube. And I wanted to show everybody that's after, like I said, half to 3/4 of a bucket, how murky the water is. There's one fairly decent flake of gold right there. Very minimal gold, which is a disappointment to me though. But there's one little flake there, and we'll see what's in this top stuff. I'm just gonna kind of run it quick for everybody so we can do a fairly short video here. Like I said, I do trust my cube, so even running it kind of quick here, I don't feel like I'm gonna really lose anything. Plus this is off of a big bud plane, so I know there's nothing big in it. I've been on this plane before, and well, if there's something good sized in there, I would be absolutely shocked. Kind of we were bored the other day. We had some time fairly close to go run, so that's what we did. I did about 5 runs for that material. My runs are about an hour long. And once again, using those planes, you have to fill your hole. So. And I like to eat a little bit, take my lunch. Like I said, I know I'm running this kind of fast. I generally wouldn't quite go this quickly, but running out of daylight too. You can imagine after doing about 8 or 10 buckets what your water looks like. If you wanted a milkshake going through your cube, you'll have it. But, once again, I trust it to catch and feel like it does. I don't get paid to promote this thing, but I literally think it's the best thing on the market right now. That I have tried anyway. The spiral wheel, the blue bowl, little mini sluice boxes, all kinds of fun stuff that didn't seem to catch very great. This is the guy that I ended up keeping. Wow, I do not see anything really more in there other than one small more little flake, so we definitely didn't have a very good day up there, that's for sure. Might be one of my worst, actually. I don't know if that's good to have on camera. I'm used to doing it from the other angle. And now when I'm done, I generally let this run for about a minute or so. Just let it run, whatever excess material slowly working its way down these ripples here, going clunk, 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 clunk. anything that's built up in those little trays that grab, which I'll show you guys, I'll let it do its thing. Just let it be for a minute while you get yourself situated to do whatever it is you need to do. I'm going to empty today into a just another concrete mixing bin. So that way it's all right here. That's probably long enough. Generally, I'd let it go for another 30 seconds to a minute. You can see we have, oh man, that is like a bare minimal amount there. We got us, I don't know if anybody can see in this. I might have to go get the flashlight and light it up. We were running out of daylight. So we got us very small flakes. About a dozen flakes in there. And that's why I like this visual here. I already know walking into it now I'm going to be disappointed. So, but that's what it is. Some days are good, some days aren't. Undo my hose in the back. Take this guy and we'll just set it right here. I can rinse it out and then we'll take a look at this one. Oh man, most time I see some sort of glimmer of hope and color here, but not today. So this is more or less a video on where not to go digging at and how the cube works. There we go. Now I'll show you how I rinse these things out. I don't use a high pressure. I just kind of want everything to run on out. Get that one good and clean and set it off to the side. The other one here, like I say, most time when I do this, coming from one of our other claims, I'll be watching little gold flakes rounding down in there, and I don't see any today. So it's literally a light flush. You get all your big material down, see it all coming right off the end there. Get that down. Take one hand or finger or something and block your area here so you don't have a bunch of water coming out, and then give it a little flush down here. I don't know if you guys can see, I'm trying to hold the camera in a weird way too, so, or the flashlight, excuse me. Just watch all your chunks come down. Go ahead and grab my other two. Well, no matter what you do, no matter how much gold you got, you literally end up with about the same amount, no matter what. I'm going to rinse these out. Since I've never found any gold in my third tray, I'm pretty confident that there's absolutely zero in it again, especially seeing the minimal amount there. Yeah, I live in Phoenix, so our AC just kicked on. probably like 7:30 at night and about 100 degrees still, so day is coming to a hot end. Alright, so that's what we're left with. I want to show everybody what the actual amount is. We're just going to kind of, since it's such a big bin, we'll brush some of this down to this corner here. Give my camera lady there the light to hold, so I got to shoot him. Block your view for a moment. There we go. Like I said, from a half a bucket to about 8 or 10, I feel confident doing in this thing. Anything more than that, where I'm generally at, I have a ton of black sand that gets caught, so kind of making a mess on the porch, but that's literally what we get left with. Like I said, well matter whether it's, you know, 1 bucket, half bucket, all the way up to about 10. You get that much to pan through, and that's the main reason I like this thing. But I love it when you have this much dirt in here, and you're looking in here, and you see gold flakes just all through it. Because you know sometimes you get about like this much gold in there, and the rest of that's just the burn off you got to get through. So those are good feeling days. We'll have Jen pan this up and we'll show you what we get out of it. It's going to be disappointing, I already know that, so don't look forward to any big nuggets in here.
Well, there it is. Finished panning out our run from Big Bug. This is what we've learned about at least that spot on that side of the creek. The gold is not very good, but you can see that the cube catches incredibly fine gold. Some of that is just absolute flower size. Got one in there that's almost pickerable size, and then all that fine flower. So we really trust our cube to catch anything that we put down it.
The bad thing about, I'm going to interject, is when we do get this small of stuff in here, this pan took us approximately 2 hours to pan. So you have to do your due diligence, otherwise when you just pan this pretty normally, do a 10-minute pan, you won't see that fine stuff in there. But if you do take your time and do a quality panning job on that last bit, it works out.
Absolutely, and that was about 2 cups worth of material that came out of the cube that we panned. So really wasn't that bad at all.
The amount of gold wasn't that good, but as you can see, it does catch and what it catches. And like we don't have any pickers in here obviously, but I would have loved to have shown how that little tray actually does grab bigger chunks and pickers and stuff like that in there, but we were just in one of the few spots that has water. So
some of our other videos do show that top tray where it's got good gold in that V matting on the top.